The last person who lived here was Rod Stewart base.
Wow, so beautiful. You've produced 100+ movies.
You look like Jason Statham. I was having nightmares that I was waking up in Syria.
Why is it so hard to get into the wealthy world?
From 1.2 to $105 million.
You came here sort of in the golden moment. Can you still do that now?
The difference between who's going to make it and who's not going to make it is...
This is where my wife just got interested in the video. No homeless people around these parts.
I just got scared because it was a lot of money. I used to go to the Playboy Mansion every Saturday and Sunday. The master bedroom is about 2,800 square feet.
Oh, wow.
It just sold for $450 million. I don't think it's ever been done in the movie history.
Did you ever have any problems for being Arab or Syrian? Was that ever an issue in the States?
There is nowhere in the world like this country.
Student visa and $400.
That's it.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to America.
Good morning, guys. Los Angeles, California, one of the greatest concentrations of wealth in the world. And typically in my videos, it's next to impossible to get a wealthy person on camera in my unscripted manner. But today is different. We're meeting a man who's produced over 100 movies, started various businesses, now works in real estate. He's done very well for himself, and he's agreed to bring us into a world that most of us never see. Let's do this. Quite a beautiful place you have here, Joseph.
Thank you. Yeah, we bought this place 29 years ago. The last person who lived here was Rod Stewart, the singer, you know Rod Stewart?
Of course.
Yeah, he was building a house in Beverly Park. It's a huge community, huge mansions. Sylvester Stallone lives there, now Adele, Denzel Washington. You know, it's very tight, closed, secure community. It goes up to, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars.
So you've produced 100+ movies, right?
I have, yes.
How was that journey?
It was incredible, actually. I didn't, when we were kids, we really didn't know much about making movies. We just jumped in. The first movie I made on 16 millimeter for $50,000. Yeah, I sold it for $180,000, and I started with a partner of mine who was the director of photography on the movie. His name is Richard Pepin.
Okay.
We didn't have like a business plan. Let's, you know, get wealthy. Let's get rich. Let's, you know, we just wanted to make movies. So we were on the set constantly. We couldn't wait to sell the movie at any price, so we can make another one.
You're from?
Syria. The reason I came here, I had a dream to get into the movie business.
So you're in, say, Damascus or where?
Homs, a small city called Homs. And what got me into the movies is a small theater just opened next to my dad. My dad was a shoemaker. I used to go and help him ever since I was 6 years old. Worked with my dad. Mm-hmm. And we became friendly with the guy who owns the movie theater. So he let me in for free anytime I want. So I was first introduced to John Wayne and Humphrey Bogart. The movie will play for a whole month and I'll see it 10, 15, 20 times.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It changed my life for sure. I wanted to come to Hollywood and make movies.
So how does someone make that jump from Syria? It's not an easy
it wasn't
transition,
easy.
Is it?
You know, it's not an easy transition at all, but most people, ordinary, ultra successful, anybody, you know, God kind of sent someone to help them along the way. And that person for me is a neighbor, a Christian neighbor, who his great-grandfather migrated to, at one point to America.
Okay.
And had relatives. He came to go to school here and he sent me an application from a college from Palatka, Florida. And I came as a student visa, $400 in my pocket. We were, you know, below middle class, not very poor. But my dad said, if you want to go, that's all you get, $400, you go.
Student visa and $400.
That's it.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to America.
So how was that landing?
It was, well, I didn't know any better. So I was 18 years old. I lived on hot dogs and boiled eggs.
But you're Muslim, right?
I am Muslim, yes. Yeah.
And you're on hot dogs.
Whatever
it took.
Yeah, whatever it took. As a matter of fact, I tell you, once I got to college and I met an Iraqi kid, and he said to me, barely spoke English, and he said to me, that's all you eat is eggs and hot dogs, and in the same pot. I bought a pot for a couple of dollars and a burner, and he goes, you like tuna fish? I said, what's a tuna fish? So he told me it's delicious.
Yeah.
He said it's only 9 cents a can. I said, really? So he said, yeah, I bought 100 of them. I said, where did you get them from? So we went to the market, and we're getting these 9 cents tuna, and then I said, his name is Muhammad. I said, Muhammad, why there's a picture of a cat on the can?
You thought you were eating cat?
He was eating cat food.
Oh, he was eating cat food.
At the cat, he was eating 9 cents. It says tuna on it, and when I question it, and we start asking the cashier, she said, "Yeah, that's cat food." So,
oh, this is beautiful. Wow. So you have big dinner events here?
A lot of dinners here. This is my Moroccan room. A friend of mine designed it, and we built it like a set, like a movie set.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And also I have, not because I was in the pizza business, not one pizza oven. I have 2 pizza ovens, and wood-burning pizza ovens, so I make pizzas from scratch.
So growing up in Syria for the first 18 years, which I've been to Syria and I absolutely loved it. I was there before the war, 2007. Do you hold on to your Syrian roots, or do you feel like you're fully American?
I am fully American. I'm married, Christian American,
okay.
Lebanese American. My kids are born here. This is my home. This is my haven, man. There's nothing like this country.
Yeah?
There's nothing in the world. Well, you traveled to 80 countries.
Yep.
So I traveled quite a bit. There is nowhere in the world like this country. You have laws. You have somebody like me who can come from Syria and who can go to get a permit. For example, I have a chase scene and I needed a freeway. And they can't say no to me and say yes to Paramount and Universal. You have rights, you have freedom, you have opportunity. It's a huge country. Everything is available here. Everything available if you know where to find it. And the American people are the greatest people in the world. They're really very kind, nice, beautiful, helpful, and fortunately, most of them, they don't know what's best for them, or they don't know what they have.
What's best for them? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, if you take the average person, unfortunately, they're so busy trying to pay the bills, raise their kids.
Yeah.
They don't take the time to figure out what's best for them, how to, like, for example, I saw you interview the Hasidic Jews or the Jews. Mm-hmm. They have one day where everything stop and rewind and think and talk, spend time with the family and cook. Cooking, to me, if I was in charge of this country, I will make it more mandatory, more than education.
Eating good food?
Eating good food,
okay.
And cook with the family. Please.
Wow. So beautiful.
This is one of my art director in the movies. His name is George Vital. He painted this. This is a 38 feet ceiling. And you go in.
Oh yeah, that's nice. The light comes right in. I see you've taken the Christmas pretty well, Joseph.
I love Christmas. I start playing in October with Christmas music. All our Christmas dinners here, and there's a lot of memories.
And you're not letting go of Christmas because we're far into January now.
Yeah, I think it's going to stay another month at the end of February, maybe.
So you're saying outside, a lot of Americans just don't understand what they have or what's here. Is that because you have a foreign set of eyes? You saw another system, or?
Well, you take the Koreans, for example. I just read a story. This is a true story about the Korean. You know, they come in, they open a liquor store or a store in New York, and they work 7 days a week. I mean, the mom, the dad, they sleep in the store. They sacrifice. And then one day, somebody went to the store, and there was a sign that says, "I'm sorry, we're closed today." The only day, maybe in 30 years, 20 years, "I'm sorry, we're closed today to watch our son graduate from Harvard."
Oh, wow.
Two immigrant Harvard graduations. So first of all, start with the sacrifice a little bit in order for anybody to get ahead. When you're 18, 19, 20, 21, that's the time when you really need to work hard, save some money. I've had 2 jobs for a long, long time. When I moved to Los Angeles, wanted to be in the movie business. I couldn't be in the movie business. Didn't speak the language. I mean, Clint Eastwood didn't call me and say, "Oh, I heard you want to be in the movie business. You want to come by?"
We're looking for the Syrian fresh off the boat.
Yeah, Syrian fresh off the boat. So I realized in 1974, I can't afford the rent in Los Angeles. So when the kids complain today, "Oh, Los Angeles, I can't afford the rent." Well, this is nothing new. In 74, I couldn't afford the rent.
So what'd you do?
I moved to Las Vegas, like people move to Texas or Florida, or
Like they're doing now to Vegas too, right? A lot of LA's moving there.
a lot of LA moving there. So moved to Las Vegas because you can make a little bit more money in Las Vegas, less taxes. The rent was cheap. That's when I was able to buy a car, buy a house, sell the house, open a pizzeria, save the money, open a couple more pizzerias, and decided, okay, now I'm ready to go make movies.
Okay, so you had to sort of go in a way back or go this direction before you could go that direction.
Yes. I got a job in Las Vegas. I learned how to deal old games. I got a job as a room service waiter. And so I had 2 jobs. I mean, when I had only one shift, it was like, oh my God, I only have one shift today, one job. That was a celebration. But that's how I saved my money and been able to take the chance and open a business.
The majority in your circle here, would you say they're all entrepreneurs?
All entrepreneurs, 100%.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of educated people. I am not. I'm not one of them. But a lot of educated people. Like a friend of mine who's extremely wealthy and successful developer. He's a lawyer. Mm-hmm. His wife is a lawyer. They work very hard. Anybody who achieved anything that I know, they worked very hard.
So how many bedrooms here, Joseph?
There are 7 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms.
I never understood more bathrooms than bedrooms.
Well, I don't know if you have 2 bathrooms in your relationship, but your wife definitely should have her own bathroom to make a better marriage and a happier wife. This is our master bedroom. The master bedroom is about 2,800 square feet.
Oh, wow.
So this is Dahlia's closet.
Oh, you got it on?
I got it on.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
How are you?
You're good. How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you. Hello, hello.
Nice to meet you. So this is where my wife just got interested in the video. This part right here.
Yeah, it's a 2-story.
This is beautiful. So how did you 2 meet?
Well, that's a good story.
I was looking for a house.
Okay.
And I found a house, and her uncle, that he was my friend, and he said, "Oh, have my niece write it up and make some money because she, you don't have an agent." I said, "I really don't have an agent." So she arrived. This was in the Valley, in Studio City. The most expensive house at the time on the street, 1.2 million. So Dahlia comes in and said, "This is your luckiest day. Write this house. I'm going to pay cash for it.
Right up this offer.
And you're going to make $25,000. And she said, "Oh, this is a horrible house. You shouldn't buy this house." I said, "What? Why?" She said, "Oh, it's the most expensive. It doesn't make any sense. Let me show you a couple more houses before you buy this house."
It was by far the most expensive home on the street by like triple.
1.2 million.
1.2, everything else
30
was
years
like...
ago.
That would be the cheapest home now, right?
Right, but everything else at that time was 300,000 and 400,000.
Okay.
So I said, when you invest in real estate, you want to be smart and you want to be the least expensive home in a nicer neighborhood, not the most expensive.
So she refused to write it. She said, "Let me show you a couple of more houses." We start looking at different houses. We went out for lunch. That lasted 4 or 5 hours. That was on a Monday. On Thursday that week, I asked her to marry me.
Whoa.
And she said yes.
And I said yes.
Wow. What was going through your head? Were you like, this just feels right, I'm in? Or you're like...
Yeah, no, the moment I met him, it just felt right.
Wow.
Yeah, the moment I met him.
How many years?
29.
And of course, it went from $1.2 million into purchasing this house for $4 million.
This was $4 million.
This was $4 million.
And now, what do you think the value is?
Well, we just refinanced it. The bank appraisal was $24 million.
Love works in many ways.
It does.
Yeah.
So the whole advice of, you got to live together first, spend a couple years together.
No, I think when you know, you know. And we discussed everything.
Yeah.
We had a year-long engagement so that we didn't seem that impulsive. And we did discuss everything.
And we got married in Las Vegas. And who was the singer?
Rod Stewart.
Wayne Newton.
Okay.
Wayne sang at our wedding.
Wow. So this is what you need, you're saying, for a very healthy relationship.
Yes.
Separate bathroom and
Separate
space.
baths and closets.
Absolutely. Separate bathroom and closet.
Yeah, I don't feel your essence in here, Joseph, to be honest.
No. She has her office here. She has double doors to keep me out. Nice.
Double doors is essential also. Oh, wow. This is beautiful, you guys. Okay, here we go. This is definitely a toned down version.
But guess what? See all these things on top?
Yeah.
That's still her closet. She put stuff in it.
Oh, up there.
Yeah.
It's family storage, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, we're calling it family storage.
Albums of the kids and, ski stuff, family
only.
Storage.
And here you go. Here's
One step at a time, Joseph. Watch
the
out.
wedding. See?
What's that?
That's the wedding 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you came over at 18. Have you ever gone back to Syria?
Once, when I was 19.
That's it.
That's the last time.
That's it, yeah.
Wow.
Went back because I missed it so much that I couldn't wait to get out. And I came here literally like I went to Vietnam. I was having nightmares that I was waking up in Syria. I was having a nightmare for the longest time.
Like a helicopter would go over and you'd
I'm just
start sweating?
Yeah. By the way, this is the room I was going to give you.
Oh, okay.
See, this is the guest room, Peter, when I offered to you. I said,
God, I'm a loser.
See?
I'm a loser. I should have taken that up.
And it has its own entrance.
Wow. So you came here sort of in the golden moment, some might say, of America, right? There was no competition internationally, really. Like China wasn't a player. You couldn't just make it from anywhere. You sort of had to be here for many professions. Can you still do that now, do you think?
I know for a fact you can do it. What you do, it used to take me 50 people to do what you do right now, by yourself, holding this camera. It's too dark here, you need reflectors, you need HMIs, you need...
You have been a great director, though, so far, I gotta say. It is like I'm having help today. I came in here, guys, and Joseph said to the gardener, stop mowing things because of the audio. And I'm like, oh, thank you, because usually that's my job.
I am really passionate about cooking and about eating healthy food. And it doesn't cost much at all. I eat a lot of hummus.
Oh, yeah.
This is for you. This is Italian hummus.
Awesome.
This is just with tomatoes. This is the classic. This is just olive oil. But let me show you. Hey, Floor. It's okay if we come through here? It's okay. It's a mess. It's okay.
Hello.
Who cares? It's
Morning.
a mess. My refrigerator, look what I have. I have 2 refrigerators, but look. All vegetable.
You're a Costco shopper.
Yes, my wife is. I don't go there, but she loves Costco. But for me, where I go, if you come here, look at this.
Great. There we go.
Look at this. This is like 50 pounds of beans, This is $28 for 50 pounds. You can feed 200 people. And a little bit of exercise if you go through here. I don't need...
This is where it happens, huh? So you work out a lot.
I do work out, I built this little screening room.
This is where you watch your movies?
I watch my
or
movies.
whatever
yeah.
movies?
I have 5,000 movies on this.
Oh, this is great. So you just close the
These are
curtain.
my movies.
Who was the most interesting actor you worked with?
most interesting.
Or who you connected with the most, who you really liked?
Roy Scheider, who did Jaws. He was extremely professional, very, very, very sweet, very, very nice. You know, I worked with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, wow.
You know, I worked with a lot of different people.
Who are these people?
Here, I bought a little apartment building in Hollywood, and it was empty, and it was this picture in it, and it was this poster in it, and somebody left it behind. And I love those both pictures. I love Sinatra, I love Dean Martin, I love all these guys. I listen to Tony Bennett and Frank Sinatra all the time. Sinatra used to perform at Caesar's Palace, and Sinatra was extremely kind person. He was a big tipper.
Okay.
So, and when he used to finish his show at Caesar's, all the ballet guys know Sinatra's done. You better have the card right in the front when he shows up. So he comes in and he had a little bit to drink, and he goes, "Hey kid," and he goes, "What's the biggest tip you've ever gotten?" He's a little bit drunk, and he gets in the car. He goes, "Mr. Sinatra, I got a tip for $100." He goes, "Tonight you're gonna get $200." He gave him $200, and he closes the door, starts the engine. He goes, "Hey, by the way, who gave you that $100?" He goes, "It was you last night, Sinatra." I played tennis for 20-some years. I used to go to the Playboy Mansion every Saturday and Sunday and play tennis on their court.
You knew Hugh Hefner?
I knew Hugh Hefner very well. Keith Hefner, his brother, was one of my best friends.
Did you ever put a pause on your life mentally and say, look, I grew up in Syria, I came to this country with zero English, worked in a restaurant, now I'm at Hef's mansion?
Only in this country again. Only in this country.
You didn't come with a name or money. You built it all.
Yeah, I never dreamed I would live in a place like this. I mean, look at this. I mean, even my mom, when she saw it, when she first saw this place, I brought her in, she goes, "Don't do it. Don't do it. This is crazy." In Arabic, she said, she started praying and she said, "Don't do this. What are you doing?" And actually, I got scared. I got scared because it was a lot of money at the time. I was making, 30 years ago, I was making over $1 million a year. I was making $1.6 million a year. It was barely enough to cover the mortgage and live in this life. So I got scared. So I went to cancel the escrow, and he goes, "Why are you canceling the escrow?" I said, "This is crazy. I can't afford it. If I get fired, if things slow down, I'll lose my house." So he opened the folder and he goes, "There's only one Beverly Hills in the world." And he said, "Oh, damn it. Why did you say that?" And I changed my mind and kept the house, and thank God he said that.
So do you think it's better to stretch a little like that financially,
Yes.
and then it just forces you to stay very focused, or you lose it all?
Especially in a market where, a strong real estate market. I mean, you don't want to do that in Alabama, build $5 million home, $10 million home in Alabama, because you cannot resell it. But the property here is constantly, especially in a good location. Hugh Hefner bought his property in 1972 for $1.2 million. Hugh Hefner sold it while he was alive for $105 million, from 1.2 to $105 million.
You don't consider yourself Syrian anymore, but this stuff's obviously in the blood, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you ever have any problems for being Arab or Syrian? Was that ever an issue in the States?
It was
Muslim?
Well, first of all, I'm not, married to a Christian. My kids are grown, going to church.
Sure.
I'm not religious at all. It's my God. It's your God. I get up in the morning, and first thing I go out and thank God, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, Allah, Jesus.
Okay, outside of religion, have you ever had problems being Syrian or being Arab?
No, because it's how you approach it, really. I mean, look, you have the same great attitude, very friendly, courteous, nice to people. Mm-hmm. You can sense if somebody's going to be, a problem. You walk away, hi, goodbye, you keep walking. I've seen your shows, and it's the same thing here.
Okay.
Like a friend of mine is an Egyptian.
Yeah.
He's in the bar, and this redneck said, "Hey, boy, where are you from?" He goes, "Egypt."
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Egypt? That's a shit country." He goes, "I know, that's why I'm here."
jeez.
I mean, it could have gone either way.
Right.
You could say, screw you, and then, it's how you. So for
How
me,
you diffuse the
it's how
situation.
you diffuse the situation. I've never really been in the situation where somebody said, "You goddamn Arab foreigner, get out of here" or something. I've never been in those situations.
Never in 50 years.
Never in 50 years. And if I sense somebody is looking at me funny or doesn't want to be, I don't, he doesn't want to sit next to me in a bar or something, sure. I just move away. Also, I always keep in mind, God, what if this guy has a son who got killed in Iraq?
Right.
Or got killed in foreign land, or 9/11. And I remind him of, I just have to give him that moment and walk away.
This is fantastic, Joseph. Nothing like a good hummus. There we go.
Taste it.
Why is it so hard to get into the wealthy world? Let me just say this. Let me preface this differently.
Okay.
Shooting videos, I can get into all different communities.
Okay.
So thank you for bringing me in. That's very nice. Because everyone wants to see how different people live.
Right.
We all can learn from that, right? Why is it so hard to get in? If you're not, they say, part of the club,
Right.
multi-millionaire, why is there like a steel wall almost?
I know 3 billionaires. Mm-hmm. And there's no way we'll give an interview. And one of them, I can say his name, he passed away, Kirk Kerkorian, who owned 10 hotels in Las Vegas.
Okay.
From New York to MGM to Mandalay Bay to Bellagio. And he's the greatest guy in the world. He's such a nice guy. But he never gave an interview to anybody. He's just so private. Most people are private. And most people, including me, and I am probably, I tell my wife, I'm probably the poorest guy in Beverly Hills. I don't want to come across like I'm bragging or look at me.
Right.
And I hope I never, came across anything I say that I'm not bragging. I'm hoping to inspire somebody. That's the reason I said, I'll agree to do this. But I did mention it to a couple of friends of mine, and they said, wealthy. I said, no thanks.
Is that a new thing in the culture where, say, the wealthier, I don't know, are people looking down on the wealthy? Or is it they're like better just not to tell any story?
Well, they're perceived, they're heartless, they use people. The only reason they got wealthy because they took advantage of people. And they have their own, circle and new friends I don't need kind of thing,
Yeah. I think most things that come at them maybe at that position in life are a liability. Can you help me do this? Can you do this?
Exactly.
And they're like expected to do something.
Exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Exactly.
How does money work in the sense that you have $1 million, you want 2 million. You have 2 million, you want 3 million, right? It keeps going and going and going, right? And to have a nice home here, well, there's that one that's all of a sudden 50 million or 100 million. Is that a constant stress? Like to want more, or how does that work?
I think, once you have enough, everything else you want to do, unless it's fun, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it for the money. I don't want to die with an extra $1 million in the bank or 10 million or something. I don't want a bigger house. I don't want a plane. I have friends with private planes. I don't want one. I drive, a nice car, but I don't drive a $300,000 car. I don't have Rolexes, and I don't need any of this stuff. I do like to make money if it's fun, if it's a fun project. Of course, that's the measure of whether you're successful or not if you make money from the project.
And you're still doing these right now?
I still do them. I don't think I'm gonna quit. Even if I'm 90, I'm still gonna work. I like working.
What was that transition from movies over to real estate?
It's almost the same thing. Is building a set, creating a story. You're creating something that's even more lasting, because I never made a movie like, Casablanca or The Godfather. I made popcorn movies. So now if you build something like this, or a hotel or a place for people to enjoy, or a restaurant, I think it's the biggest high. This is Beverly and Santa Monica. This is the highest sale in the world. It just sold for $415 million.
This building?
1.2 acres. They're going to build the Louis Vuitton hotel. I think the cheapest room is going to be $2,000 a night.
So what do you think right now with the way the economy is going, right? People are either going up in wealth, the middle is going down, the poor is the poor.
Unfortunately.
The average job to buy a home and all these other things, it's much more difficult.
It is much more expensive, much more difficult, but I think if you compare it to different period in time, it was like this in the 70s and the 80s, I think. You know?
Really?
I think so. Just right now, okay, tell me who doesn't own iPhone here? Even the homeless person owns an iPhone. So now the expectations of what you need to have is completely different. I just don't see the millennials working 2 jobs and saying, you know what, I don't need to go to a bar and spend, $22 on a martini. I'll skip that, I'll go and read a book. I mean, the difference between who's going to make it and who's not going to make it is how much effort and education and discipline, you put in now.
So your first experience was what?
With Clint Eastwood, working as a production assistant. I wasn't a paid assistant. They were shooting in Las Vegas, and a friend of mine introduced me to the line producers, and I was glad to just be on the set. He let me hang out on the set and watch Clint Eastwood direct, and he was just the most amazing experience. And I thought all movies made like the Clint Eastwood, which is, one take. He just say, and he doesn't say action. He goes, okay, whenever you're ready. Not like Martin Scorsese, who I love.
Sure.
He will do 50 takes, 60 takes, 100 takes.
Sure.
But Clint Eastwood, he finished the movie in 20 days, 16 days, whatever. He just say, okay, we're good enough. Let's go. Let's move on. This used to be a public parking lot. The city comes and make a deal with the hotel. They said, okay, build a hotel here. We'll give you the land, but we want to make sure that our residents park for free. The parking lot is underground. Look what they created. This is all residents. You can bring your sandwich. You can sit here all day. Nobody can tell you to leave. Lebanese Armenian has a glass store down the street. Look at this. This is $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for a pair of glasses.
Lebanese Armenian guy?
Yeah.
That's a guy you wouldn't mess with just by the sounds of it. Lebanese Armenian. How much a night here for rooms?
Minimum $850.
$850. Okay.
Minimum. You guys?
Thanks, boss. I'm going to point out the obvious, Joseph. No homeless people around these parts.
Once in a great while, I see somebody walking in, but usually they don't. I don't know, Beverly Hills.
It's not Santa Monica, that's for sure.
It's not Santa Monica. I have 3 homes in Venice. I just sold one last week. We're just selling another one, selling them at a loss because of the homeless. I built these homes, and they built a homeless shelter across the street. So who's gonna buy a $5 million home and you have a homeless shelter across the street?
So why do you think the state or the city is buying the nice real estate for those operations?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I tell you, many developers try to tell the city, Venice, let me build it for you. Let me give you another building. Let me take that property and put, $5 million condos or something. Take that money. It will not cost you anything, but they will not do this. I don't know. I just don't understand it. Or I heard one case scenario where the city said, okay, we'll let you do it, but you cannot have 2 entrances, one for the homeless for free and the other one for $5 million or $3 million condo, which is crazy. I mean, it has to be a sustainable way of taking care of the homeless. Nobody should be homeless in this country.
Right.
I mean, we're so wealthy, but I think when the government handle the business, they do it badly,
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm Peter. Carrie.
Carrie, nice to meet you.
Too. My husband, Jamin.
Jamin, nice to meet you.
This is my oldest friend. I've known her before she knows her husband.
Yeah.
We made a movie together in Canada. Was that the Bruce Willis movie?
That was the Wesley Snipes.
Oh, Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham. Jason Statham. You look like Jason Statham.
I get that a lot. Get that a lot.
Yeah.
Get the hat up.
Yeah. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
see you soon.
Take care.
Take care.
Is this a
You know, the response time for Beverly Hills is 3 minutes, but they make a couple of 100,000 start, I think.
Really?
Yeah, 150, 180 start. They're
Okay.
detectives or whatever, they make 600,000 a year. And they deserve it, you know.
Yeah.
Put their life on the line. This friend of mine owns this restaurant called 208 Rodeo, just the address. Hey, if you want to spend $200,000, $300,000, $600,000 on a watch, here's the place to do it. A friend of mine ordered one for $500,000 or $600,000, and they will not let him order one till he become a customer. So he had to buy another watch first before he ordered the $500,000, $600,000 watch.
What film is this?
Called Epicenter.
When did you shoot this?
25 years ago. No green screen, no visual special effects. It's all real. You're gonna see car flipping. There's not one shot is computer generated.
So you had some good drivers there, huh?
Oh, really good drivers. Yeah. The camera's underneath.
Oh my God.
Watch this. Somebody inside that car.
Somebody inside.
Yeah, there's a cage. We built the cage around them, you know, like a race cage. We were the only independent filmmakers, PM Entertainment at the time, that were capable of doing this. I just went after a guy named Spiro Rosato. He is the biggest action director today. He does the Fast and the Furious, all the Marvel pictures, huge. He's the guy who did this. Started with me. He did about 35 movies with me. We were very ambitious, and we were trying to imitate the big studios budget, you know, and we concentrate on action. We just specialized in that. If Warner Brothers or Paramount or any of these studios want to do a picture like this, that scene will cost them $4 million. It'll take a week to shoot, maybe 2 weeks to shoot.
And it cost you guys 50 grand?
50 grand, 75 grand.
The sweeper?
Yeah, right here.
90s?
That's me.
Oh yeah. 90s?
Yes. C. Thomas Howell was a big star in the 90s. There's a camera on the motorcycle, you know, going in. This is real. Look at it. He makes the jump on the car.
Wow. How many times? Just once?
Now the whole car is going to go into the water. He has to push the car away from him. Look at this. He pushed the car. He was going under the car. This guy is amazing.
The stuntman. Huge risks, huh?
Huge
Those guys?
Yeah.
Are they getting paid a ton for that?
I think the biggest stunt I've ever paid was $15,000 for one stunt.
So that guy out there for the day
For the day, probably make $2,000.
to risk his life multiple times?
Yeah. And when I went to the Fast and Furious, watching the same guy who did this, they have a budget of $250 million. They do one scene, cost $20 million, $22 million for one chase scene.
Are the stuntmen still as brave as back in the day?
I think they're brave, but now they have the computer that helps them.
Okay.
And the reason the Fast and Furious is so popular and does $1 billion, because the majority of it is real.
It's cliche and a bit corny sometimes, but do you think anyone can do whatever they want?
I honestly believe if you have the will and you want to work hard, you can do it. You know, all these guys, this stunt guy right here, he's the top guy in the world. You know, he started, you know, in the church with his mom cleaning the church, couldn't speak English, Greek. He wanted to be a stuntman. He started jumping from one place to another, and he put the camera, he has the eye, he becomes, you know, the top at his game.
But you also have to know your skill. I'm never going to be in the NBA, no matter how much say I want it. You have to know
your limitations.
Your limitations and what you're good at.
Yeah, but sometimes not knowing your limitations, you'll surprise yourself, you know.
Right.
You have 5'2" guys who play in the NBA. What you're going to see now is something I don't think it's ever been done in the movie history, what these guys did. Watch this. This is real. This is real. This is down. There's nothing but... And Spiro thought of, okay, let's hang him and throw him down. Watch this. This is not a computer. He is ankled from his shoe into safety if he falls. And this is real. This is real.
What?
This is real.
What? Come on.
This is real.
What?
This is real. No.
How many times did you test it?
Once.
That's it?
We didn't test it, they just did it. I mean, they're harnessed from their sides, obviously.
Thank you for today.
Thank you, man.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Take care.
You're an inspiration,
Thank
a very cool guy,
Thank you.
and a look into a world that most of us don't see, and you did it in a very educational, humble, and cool way. So
Thank you.
for that.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you. We'll
Anything
do it
else?
again.
Do we
That's
want
it.
to promote anything?
I have nothing to promote.
Nothing to promote? Okay, you have some hotels coming.
I have a hotel coming called Extended Stay, Goal Extended Stay.
Where?
That's my dream. The first one is in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
So.
So stay there, guys. All right. Until the next one.
Okay. You take care.